No. Hi everyone. Just let us know down in the Q&A or in the chat if you can hear us. It's Jamal and I. Jamal, just say hi just to make sure that everyone can hear you.
Hi everyone.
And just let us know down in the chat. And let us know as well if you can see the screen okay. I think there might be an option just to thumbs up my message in there if you can hear us and if you can see the slides, just so we know it's all working and that we can go ahead. Lovely. Cool, people can hear us. Thank you, everyone. So I'll now pass over to Jamal.
Okay, thanks very much, Freya. All right, so thanks everyone for joining today. So what we are going to do is we are going to have a taster session on intelligent communication with Teams. So just to go through what the agenda will be. So I'm going to go through an introduction of Teams and what exactly is best used for. Then after that, we're going to go through the Teams layout. Then we're going to go through the vertical and horizontal toolbar and how you can use that to make your life easier. And then we're going to go into instant messaging, how you attach a document in Teams, and any additional features. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop sharing this and start showing the horizontal toolbar. So what you'll be able to see is the horizontal toolbar here. So with this being a live event instead of a Teams meeting, it looks a tiny bit different, but a lot of the functionality is still there. So, so yeah, just to go through what is typically used in the horizontal toolbar. So just to give you guys a bit of an idea, so it may be different as well depending on what version of Teams that you have. So with me, what I have is once I hover over the meeting chat, this is the horizontal toolbar will show up. And if I just begin with the left-hand side, what we can see here is the camera function. So if I turn that off, it'll stop sharing my camera. If I turn it back on, it will share my camera again. If I press mute, let me turn that back on. And so yeah, if you want to mute yourself or unmute yourself, you would press this button here. Then we have the sharing button. So what you would typically see in Teams is different to what you're seeing on my screen right now. So typically what you would have is a box with an arrow pointing up. But what I have, because I'm currently sharing my screen, is a box with a cross in the middle. And then we have your more actions or three dots. So throughout Teams, what you'll see is the three dots, and they are that if you want to perform any more actions. So if I click on this, what we'll be able to see is the health and performance. We'll be able to see the device settings. So what we can see now, we can see my current setup for a Teams meeting, and you can change that or set up to how you want it to be. If I go back, we can look at the meeting notes, and this is where you can take notes within Teams. And then show meeting details. This is quite a handy feature. So what this will do is this will give you information on the specific Teams meeting or live event. So what we have here is we have the title, we have the time it's going to start and end, but we also have the option to dial in, or we can enter a phone number. If I select copy join info, I can copy and paste this into an email or into another chat, and it's quite handy if you need to invite anyone else that hasn't been previously invited. And then we have full screen. So yeah, it's in the name. So this allows you to have a full screen of the Teams meeting. So what we don't have any apps on the bottom. This allows you to have full attention of the Teams meeting. And if I exit out of that, what we also have is the show background effects. So as you can see, I have a blurred background right now, but what I can do is so it's gotten colder. It's November now, so it's a bit cold. So say if I want to, pretend I'm on the beach, I can do that. So let me select this. And this should, in the typical Teams meeting, this would allow you to have a different setting. And then two final things I want to show you is the keypad if you want to dial in anyone to the meeting, or turn off incoming video if you just want this to be an audio call instead of a video call. So quite handy if you're doing a phone interview or an audio only meeting through Teams. So next, what we have is the show conversation, and that is in every Teams meeting, and what that will show is the chat within the entire meeting, and anyone within that meeting would be able to see that and would be able to contribute to it. And next we have the show participants. And in the show participants, this would allow you to look at everyone that is in this meeting. And in your typical Teams meeting, what you would have as well, the final one, instead of this Q&A button, the final one would be this red hang up button. I'm not going to press that because that would take me out of the meeting, but if I would press that, that would take me out of the meeting entirely. So if I just stop sharing that and show you the typical Teams layout. Okay, so what I want to show you now is, so this is typically what you'll see in Teams. So this is your general Teams layout. And yeah, one thing I want to show you, so before I go into the vertical toolbar, is where the initials are here. So on the right hand corner, if I go to where my initials are, we'll be able to change my status. So right now it says that I'm available. What I want to do is I want to set this to do not disturb. If I do that, what will happen is I won't get any notifications from any messages unless they are urgent or from my priority contacts, which I'll go into in a little while. So next, if I click back on my initials, what I can do is set a status message. So by doing that, this will let all the users know what why I've set my setting to do not disturb. So what I'm going to put in here is in and if I select this, when people message me, this message will show up. And if I select the drop-down menu here, I can choose to never clear the message for an hour, clear the message after 4 hours, clear the message after today, this week, or customize it. What I'm going to do, I'll customize this until 3:30 and select done. So what we have here, we can see that my message has been set. And one final thing I want to show you guys for the right hand corner, if I click back on this, go into settings. So in settings, this allows you to really personalize it to how you want your teams to look. So personally, I like the dark theme, so I went for that, but you can select the default theme if you prefer that, the high contrast, but for me, I am going to stick with the dark theme. And then you can select what language you want the app to be. One thing I would say though, if you are going to set the app languages, you will need to restart your Teams app. So if I go into privacy, what we can do, so now I've set my status to do not disturb. So yeah, with do not disturb, only my contacts with priority access can message me and I'll get a notification. So if I select manage priority access, I can set who I can get a notification from. And all you need to do, if it's someone that's within your organization, all you need to do is start typing their name or put in their phone number. So if I just go back into settings, and then with the notifications, you can also change how you want your notifications to be done. So say if you've missed any activity, you can have a missed activity email, and you can set that for every 10 minutes, every hour, every 8 hours, daily, or you can turn it off entirely. Then we have then we can set the sounds. So yeah, we can have sounds for the message preview and play the sound for notifications. And we can change how we want our chat, meetings, or any other notifications as well. So if I click on edit for chat, what we have here is we have banner and feed for any app mentions, banner for replies, banner and feed for like reactions. So if I just select the drop down menu, we can select banner and feed, or we can select only show and feed. And if I go back into the settings, so we've looked at the notifications. So let's look at the calls. So in the calls in the calls tab for settings, you can choose how you want to be called. So you can have people calling you, or you can forward your calls to your voicemail. You can also one thing I particularly like about the calls tab in the settings is it allows you to configure your voicemail. So if I select this, What we'll be able to see here is we can record our own greeting, and we can select what will happen once it goes into voicemail. So we can let the caller record a message. We can let the caller record a message or be transferred to someone else. We can end the call without playing the greeting. We can play the greeting and then end the call, or transfer the call to someone else. And we can also set what language we want our default greeting to be. And if you're out of office, you can have a customized voicemail greeting as well. So once you have set that, you can select when you want your out of office to play. So you can have it all the time. You can have it when you have an Outlook auto reply set, or when you have an out of office calendar event. Okay, so now that we've gone through settings, what I want to show you now is the vertical toolbar. So before I go into these guys, I want to show you what's on the top left-hand corner. So we can see the 9 dots, and if I select on this, these would be all the apps that would be available to you in Office 365. So if you want to quickly change to another app, it would be the 9 dots in the left-hand corner. So in the vertical toolbar, the very first one is your activity pane. So in the activity pane, what we can see here is this will give you notifications of any activity that that involves you on Teams. So what we have here in my demo environment is I've been mentioned in a project team. I've been in a project team in sales and marketing, and that I've been added. And yeah, this would go for any other activity. So if if you've been mentioned, if someone is trying to talk to you in the chat, this is where all your activity would be. So next, if I go down into the chat pane, so this is where you can send a message to anyone. So what I want to do is, since there's no one in here and I want to start a new chat, what I want to do is press where the square with the pencil is to create a new chat. And what I'm going to do is put in a name. So let me just see who we can message. So I will message Brian Johnson, and I will say hello. And another thing that I can do as well is, if I want to change the format of the message, I can do that. So where the text box is, so where you see the A with a paintbrush, this will allow you to format this. So if I just want to say hello again, but change how it looks. So let's make it bold, let's make it large, and let's change the color. And another thing that you can do is you can change the delivery option. So if I select the exclamation point, we can change this to important. So what we see here when after I send this message is we can see that it is highlighted red. We have an important header, and we have this exclamation point here. If I select the exclamation point again, I can set it to urgent, and if I send this, the recipient would be notified every 2 minutes for 20 minutes. And and it's in the similar layout as well, so it would be highlighted red with the urgent header, but with a bell signaling that the recipient's going to be notified for 20 minutes. And what we would be able to see as well is any files that have been shared between any contacts. it would be under this Files tab. And what you can also do is, if you don't want to chat to him, if you want to have a video call or an audio call, you can select in the top right corner the camera or the phone. And if you want to add anyone to this message to make it a group chat, you can all you need to do is just add a name. So if I put in Adele and add her, what we'll see here is we've now got a group chat, and in the same function I can send a message. And have an audio or video call. So yeah, now that we have gone through with the chat, I want to go into Teams. So Teams, this is where your organization and collaboration really comes in. So in Teams, if you work in multiple different projects or in your department, what you would have a structure similar to this. So what we can see is we have this general channel here, and we have these sub channels as well. And one thing that's easy to distinguish all these channels is your Mark8 project team channel, that is your folder, and all these sub channels are your dividers. So this is just to organize everything within that overall channel. So what we have here is we have general, we have design, but say I want to add something, I want to add another one. What I can do is, if I select the more options, I can add a channel. And for this, I will just say that this is a test one. You can put in the description. So yeah, I'll just say that this is a test one, and you can change the privacy. So what I'll do, I will change this. I will just leave this as standard, and I will select this checkbox where it will automatically show in everyone's channel list. So if I add this, we can see that that's already been created, and I can have a conversation with everyone that is within this Mark8 project team. What I can also do as the owner of the Mark8 project team is I can manage a team. So if I select the three dots, I'll select manage team. I can see who the owners are, and I can also see who the members and guests are. And the difference between the owners and the members is the owners are the administrators and the members are people who will contribute to it. So when it comes to creating teams and channels, that would be an owner that will need to do that. And while we're currently in manage team, so we can see the members in the first tab. If I select the next tab, which is channels, we can see all the channels that are within this. And what we can see here is we can see that in the description, we can see what they are used for. Next, if I go into settings, what we can do here is we could change the team picture. We can change the permissions of what the members can do. We can change what the guests can do. We can also change what will happen if you mention anyone. And this team code is used so people can join the team directly. So if I select generate, what we will get is we will get a code. And if I copy this and go all the way to the bottom, I will select join or create a team. And final two for the settings would be fun stuff. So if you want people within Market project team to use GIFs or memes. This is where you allow that. If you want it to, if you feel like that'll be distracting, you can turn it off. Or if you do want to enable it, you can set it to strict, which would be, which would only show why for young audience material. Or if you change it to moderate, it would have less restrictions on there. And then in tags, you can select who can manage the tags. So next, what I want to go to in here is the Analytics tab. So the Analytics tab, that will show you all the engagement and what's been happening with this channel. So if I select the last 30 days or the last 90 days, typically what we would have is data of active users, of any meetings, and the overall engagement. And what we can do, if we can also select different channels as well. So we can look at our different sub channels and what the engagement and what the general activity is. So if I go back into Manage Team, we can also have a look at the apps that are part of this specific team, and we can add more if you wanted to. So next will be the calendar. So in the calendar, this is where you can set your meetings, and this is where you can select to meet now, or you can schedule any meetings ahead of time. So, and what you can also do, you can change the view as well. So typically, so what I've got right now is the working week, so Monday to Friday. If I select this drop-down menu here, we can change it to week. So it would have Saturday to Sunday included as well. Or we can just show the specific day. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to look at the working week. And if I wanted to create a meeting right now, all I need to do is select this Meet Now button. And what I can do is just join now. And invite the people I want into this meeting. So if I hang this up, go back into calendar. We can also schedule meetings as well ahead of time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to schedule a meeting for 4 to 5 o'clock. So there are a couple of options that you can do this. So you can highlight the specific time that you want. Or if I close this, select new meeting and do it that way too. So when you are creating a meeting, what you can do is, so yeah, it's similar to Outlook. So if I put in the title, add in the required attendees, and put in an optional one as well. And I can change, and I can select what time I want. So right now I want that at 4 o'clock to 5. If I really wanted to, I could make this an all-day meeting by selecting this right here. But I'm not going to do that to these people. So let me unselect that and just make it for an hour. But I can change the frequency of when I want this meeting. So if I want this to be a recurring meeting, I can select this drop-down menu here. So I can select it to be every weekday. I can change it to be daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, or I can customize it. So if I select custom, I can set this for every 9 days until the 15th of January. I can also add a channel, and I can add a location. And if there are any details that you want to put into this meeting, you can do that too. And what you can also do as well is if anyone that you're inviting is internal, if you look at the scheduling assistant, what you'll be able to see is typically you'll be able to see their schedule. And if they are external, you wouldn't be able to see their calendar, but if they are internal, you would be able to see their schedule and whether they'd be able to attend this meeting at that time. And so now that that's done, I'm going to select send. And what we have is we have a new meeting created. And what you can do, so say if you want to chat with the participants, you can do that. So if I just click into the meeting, you can select chat with the participants. And this would allow you to, so say if you want to start planning anything, or if you want to get content ready for a particular meeting, this is a really good option for you. And this chat would be available throughout the meeting and after. So yeah, if I go back, what we can see, so yeah, what we've done is we've created a new meeting. I've shown you how we can create a meeting straight away, and how it looks depending on how you want to look at it. So we can look at it per day, working week, or the week including Saturday and Sunday. So yeah, next what we have is calls, and yeah, now I just want to go into what you can do in here. So you can add contacts in the calls pane, and you can also add speed dials as well. So say you have a contact that you frequently message, or you frequently have calls with, or even groups. What you can do is you can add them to your speed dial. So the very first tab in the calls pane is the speed dial option. So let's press this button here, and all you will need to do is type in the name or number. So if I put in Ryan and add, what we have here is we've now added him as a contact, but we have the option to see his status and whether we can audio call or video call them. And we can also add a group as well. So what we can see, this has already been created, but what we want is, so we want to do more with this. So yeah, yes, it's been created, but there's not much we can do with it right now. So if I select the 3 dots, we can add contacts into this group. So let's add some contacts. So let me just see who we can add. So we'll add Adele. Let's see who else. Okay, so what we have here now is we've got a group. So this is really good if you have a specific project and you have specific people that you're working with. In the speed dial tab, this will allow you to create those groups, or you can create a speed dial that will allow you to have contact with those contacts that that you message or call a lot internally. So, yeah, we've shown how we can create a contact through speed dial, but say you want to create a contact and not have anyone on that speed dial. So the way that we can do this, if I go into the contacts tab, so what we can see here is my list of contacts. And if I have any more and I don't want to scroll all the way down, what I can do is search for the contact. And if I want to add anyone, it would be this purple button here. So again, it would be a name or a number. So if I put in if I just start typing, we will be able to add that person. So again, purple add contact button. Start typing the name and then add them. And in the list of contacts, what we can see is on the right-hand side, we can see the options in which we can contact them. So we can start chatting, we can email them, we can video call them, or audio call them. And if I select the 3 dots, I can add them to the speed dial, or I can remove the contact. So next is history. So your history tab, that is for essentially is your history of any calls that you have made. So if you just want to check whether you have had a call with someone, you can check this tab right here. And in voicemail, this is to check any voicemails that you may have had, or to check any of the transcripts of that voicemail too. And final thing that I'd want to go over in the calls pane is making a call. So you can type in a name or multiple names in here. So I'll just do that now. So we've got multiple people in here, and what I can do is, so I've added the people I want to speak to, so I can select to have an audio call or a video call. And you can do the same thing if you just want it for one person as well. And next is the Files tab. And in the Files tab, what this is this will be all the files that have been added to Teams. So what we can see, we don't have anything recent, but if I select on the Teams tab, we can see all the files that have been made. And what I'm going to do is once I've gone through this files pane, I'm going to navigate back into Teams just to show you where they have been created. So yeah, what we can see the files that have been created through Teams. If I select on OneDrive, we can see what's been created through the cloud storage. And we also have the option here to create something new or upload a document. So if you want to create something new, all you need to do is select new and select what type of document you want. So whether it's a Word document, an Excel workbook, or PowerPoint presentation, as long as it's an Office 365 product, this would be available to you. Or if you want to upload a file, you can select upload and select the files or folders, or you can drag and drop them. And if it is your cloud storage tab, you can open it in OneDrive too. You also have the option to add cloud storage as well. So you have a few options that are available to you. So you can have Dropbox, Box, Ignite, ShareFile, or Google Drive. It depends what your company has set up for other cloud storage providers, but these would be the options that are available to you. So if I go back into Teams and go into the general channel, so yeah, we can see our post and we can see everyone that's collaborating, but what we want to see the files. So right next to the post tab, we have the files tab, and we can see the files that have been made. So yeah, these are what have been created, and if you wanted to create any yourself, all you need to do again is select new, select Word, Excel, PowerPoint, whichever application you want to use for your document, and then and now that we have this, what we can see is we have a document that is open, and we already have the name for it. But what you can do as well is we have a few options. So if you wanted to open it in the desktop app or in the web application, you'd be able to do that. So the desktop app is right here, but if you want to open it in the web application, it would be the three dots and open it in the browser. So let me just close this document. And what we can see, I haven't selected save as, I haven't selected save, it will auto save it for you. And for me personally, I think that's a great option because I've been guilty of forgetting to save a file, and now I don't have to think about that. And so yeah, I've shown you how you can create a new document, but to upload it again, it will be pressing upload, select either files or folders, and then it would be uploaded here, or you can drag and drop. So one thing I wanted to show you guys as well is the three dots at the bottom of this vertical toolbar. So if I select the three dots, you can select different apps that you want in your vertical toolbar. So for me, I would like to have the help function in here. And in this help function, if you're new to Teams or if you just have a question and you just want to check something quickly, this is a really good option for you to use. So in here, what you'll be able to see is, so they'll give you anything that's popular that people do ask. So we can see how you can share a screen. You can look at basic help or how to look at teams and channels. Or if you want to look at something specific, so for me, I'll put in attach a document. So what we see here is they tell you how you can upload a file. So it would go through the steps on how you do that and would give you more options if this isn't quite what you were looking for. And so yeah, what I've done now, I've gone through the vertical toolbar, but two final things I want to show you is if you select on apps, you will be able to see what apps would be available to you. And if I select on help, like I showed you just a minute ago, it will give you the options of what you want to look for. So say if you want to look at what's new, this will show you that. And one final thing I want to show you guys as well, when you are chatting to someone, so if I go back into the chat function and you want to attach a document to the chat, all you will need to do is select the Paperclip to attach a document. And you will have the option to either upload it from your computer or from your cloud storage. So what I've gone through that is the vertical toolbar, how you can the horizontal toolbar, and how you can use Teams to collaborate and talk to other colleagues on a day-to-day basis. Typically, what we would do, because we typically host it in a Teams meeting, we would have this more interactive. But what I wanted to do today is just give you a quick whistle-stop tour of what Teams is. So now that I've done that, what I want to tell you guys about is some of the new features that are coming up in Teams and some that may be available to you now. So we currently have, breakout rooms is something that are scheduled to appear for for Teams, and what they would be is, say you have an all-day meeting and it is with a department, but what you want to do is you want to have different meetings within the department. So say someone wants to break off into different groups to speak about something specific. Within breakout rooms, what you'll be able to do is have that option to have essentially another meeting while that other meeting's running, and it's quite helpful when it comes to needing to split off and needing to look at something specific and create a new meeting essentially within a meeting. And then depending on what what version of Teams that you have, you would be able to look at have a gallery or large gallery, and what you would see there is essentially, if you have a large meeting, you will be able to see everyone in that meeting. And if it is a large gallery, I believe it will be in a cinema setting, and it will look like that everyone in this meeting is in the cinema. So what I want to do now is, if there are any questions, I will be happy to answer them.
Cool. If no one's got any questions, but obviously, as we do, if you come off the call and find that you have got questions for Jamal, you can email into marketing@risual.com or get in touch with your account manager, and we can pass those questions on for you.
Yeah, and one final thing I just wanted to show you guys as well is, so yeah, we do this on a regular basis, and yeah, we typically have this, and yeah, we have it more interactive as well. So yeah, we are available to do the Teams training and really work it towards how you want it to how you want it to look, or how you want people to contribute.
Cool. Lovely then, thank you all for attending, and the recording of this will be live. If you want to share it with your teams or rewatch, it'll be live on our website shortly. Thank you, bye.
Yeah. Thanks everyone.